Hi there, everybody. It's Tess Day here from Mindblox. I'm super excited to be bringing you a very exciting interview this morning with one of my clients, Nicola Cook from Wild Wellness Coaching. Morning, Nicola. It's absolutely amazing to have you with us.
Good morning, Tess. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Totally. And you know, the thing is, what is so lovely here is that you are one of my clients, and we've been working together for about 4 months now. But your business is not 4 months old. So just tell us a little bit about how long you have been the founder of Wild Wellness Coaching.
Okay, so I have been the founder for, 2 years plus, actually. I started the business, actually, it's probably been longer, but yeah, at least 2 years anyway.
2 years formally strong and building.
Yes, because it started on a whim of just a Facebook page.
Oh,
And
really?
then eventually it kind of grew arms and legs, and now it's evolved into what it is today.
That's amazing. But you know, I realized that you are not 2 years old. So I am imagining that there was a whole life before this business. So do you want to tell us a little bit more about the journey that you've traveled that brought you to that whim, that moment where you started this business?
Yes. So, I was a barber, full-time barber, running my own business. I was actually self-employed at 19. I opened my first shop at 21. And I then had two shops for a while. And I thought the businesswoman would be happy because she owned businesses. But obviously, I was happy because I did it for 30 years and got a lot from it. But during my business, my barbering business, I've had two marriages and divorces. So they've kind of propelled me to look inwards, because I hit a rock bottom in 2007 and I had to stop and go, this can't be how life is. There has to be another way. So when my second marriage ended, I took to the hills and I started to go into nature. So I actually went up, the local hill we have here is called Ben He. And I went up there. I actually started that because we were supposed to be doing Kilimanjaro, which is still on my bucket list. Unfortunately, it fell through and I haven't done it yet, but one day. So I started training on Ben He, originally with lots of audiobooks, podcasts and things, to personal development and lots of growth, which has been amazingly powerful for me. But then I started to think, wait a minute, I want to enjoy nature. So I started to take out the earphones and connect with nature and slow down and just take in all that time. And in that, so it was for 5 years, every single day at 5 a.m. For 5 years, I went up that hill, any weather, nothing stopped me. In fact, I couldn't wait to get up any morning, just my hiking gear, straight on, straight out. And I've been up to my knees in snow. I've been in thunder and lightning storm only once, and I wouldn't recommend it, but it was an accident. I've been up in all weathers, and I genuinely found myself in that journey.
Well, I think that that's just such a formidable, resilient building exercise. I mean, 5 years every day. I guess there must have been one or two that you might have missed, but essentially, you know, the journey of growth in that moment every day with yourself in that place must have been, yeah, totally transforming. And is that where that moment came, that whim came that made you think, I'm going to do something different?
Yeah, I think I used to speak to my clients. So obviously, when it's one-to-one, you speak to your clients, and they were probably getting coached as well as getting a great haircut. So they used to get double benefit from me. And I don't know, I think I started up this Facebook group page, just called it, one of my friends actually came up and helped with the name Wild Wellness. And she said, you're all about wild and being outside. How about Wild Wellness? And I said, I love it. So because the name came to me, I started up the Facebook page. And I decided to just take people on a walk for a tenner and thought, this will work, just one-to-one. It was always one-to-one work. I never thought I'd be in this doing groups and stuff. But so, yeah, that's really how it started. And it was 2020, and then lockdown happened. So the first lockdown came, and that was the end of that for a while. So it kind of went on the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
But my looking to be a coach came from being coached. So I had a life coach for quite a few years, and she changed my life. Like, I always knew I wanted to be a life coach as soon as I started being coached. And I thought, this is the opportunity. So I guess in lockdown, having to give up the barbering for a few months, this was the perfect opportunity, and the right program just landed right in front of me. And in that moment, you know, when you get goosebumps and you just think, this is the one I want to do. And I started to study coaching, and then obviously having to go back to work in I think it was the July that year, perhaps. I cried because I didn't want to go back to my job. It had served me long enough, and I just knew that I had to let it go. So I announced my retirement from barbering that August. I gave up, and I thought, jump and the net will appear. And here I am.
Yeah, there's a lot of faith that is required when one is transitioning or deciding to do something new that you haven't done for a long, done before. And often that confidence piece also comes in, you have that little voice that is constantly doubting you and questioning you. What are you doing? Are you crazy? You should stick to what you know, because this is scary. But we have to find that way to sort of just push through the fear barrier and have that faith to keep going. And that's where I think, like you said, taking on a coach was such a powerful piece for you, because you're not new to coaching. You've experienced it from both sides of the fence. How has that really helped you be a good coach when you work with your clients?
I know I've seen it done for so long. I know how to do it, and I knew how to do it before I even had the qualification, because I had the experience, but I obviously wanted the qualification just to be put in the right direction and to really have it sort of put in the right way.
Yeah.
And it changed my life. It absolutely changed my life. And I know that when you work with someone, and it can be anything from life to business and sports, or whatever someone chooses to do, I think I recognize that I read all the books and podcasts and audiobooks, and I've got a massive stack of books right to the side of me there, and most of them are on Audible. And I just knew that reading this stuff is super effective, but I genuinely know this now, that you need to work with someone to help you really embed the stuff, to really hold you accountable for the stuff, to really just guide you through this stuff. It's like having your best buddy right beside you all the time, being able to shout it to them and say, help me, I'm struggling with this thing. And I mean, it changed my life so much. I always knew right in my heart and in my gut that this is going to be something one day I'm going to do, because I want to help others in the way it's helped me.
Fantastic. And that's why we got together, right? Because you wanted that person by your side as you were navigating all the different things that you have to face as you develop something new that has the right message, that is attracting the right clients your way. So what was your greatest challenge that you noticed in those first 2 years as you were starting up?
A lot of it actually was the amount of admin and tech I had to learn, and have to do stuff on computer. That was a biggie for me, because as a barber, all you have to do is stand and cut hair. The most tech I ever had was an online booking system towards the end, and even that blew my mind when I first started to work it. And apart from running my own Facebook barbering page, there was nothing to have to do. Everything's been new for me with this. I figured I would just start coaching and that would be it. But all the stuff that comes with it, the promotion, the social networking side, the networking, obviously with my program, I've put together workbooks and slides and things, all that stuff. I didn't know how to do any of that stuff. So I found that part quite challenging. Yeah. And there was many times I actually nearly went back to barbering, because I just thought, no, this is too difficult. I can't do it. And hence my journey towards you.
Fantastic. And I mean, it just has been such an incredible 4 months to date. So now let's talk about Wild Wellness. Who are you looking to work with? Who's the kind of person that is going to get the most from stepping into your world with your business offering?
It's for women, and it's about letting go of all this who we think we should be. This was my kind of wound, if you like. I had quite low self-esteem, and I was looking for validation and approval everywhere outside of myself. Yeah. And I didn't know how to do any of those things. So I looked for it in alcohol, drugs, sex, men, all the things, and never found it, funny enough, until I really took some time on my own to find it. So it's stripping back those layers of conditioning and mindset and helpful beliefs and habits. So it's for people who worry what other people think. That was big for me. I was brought up always worrying what people think. And it keeps you small. It keeps you stuck when you worry about that stuff all the time. Also with trying to be everything to everybody. I'm a people pleaser, and I like to use Brene Brown's quote of, "I'm an aspiring good enoughist." No, a recovering people pleaser, an aspiring good enoughist. That's what she says, and I'm like, that's me. I try and be that person too. Feeling exhausted, sleep was a biggie for me. I had terrible sleep, and I now have amazing sleep. So anybody that's a bit tired and exhausted, I would love to work with them as well. And also being a bit oversensitive, quick to blame, quick to anger. If that sounds like something that you do, then it's like, come and speak to me, because I used to be all of those things. I was quick to overreact. I was easily embarrassed. I mean, even things like talking to someone on Zoom, it would have been a big no-no for me. I used to get so embarrassed from the soles of my feet right to the tip of my head, because I used to just hate being the center of attention. Both my weddings, I was like nervous and shaky and having to walk down the aisle. I was like, oh, this is so horrible. So yeah, those were, anybody that kind of ticks all those boxes, or one of those boxes, or resonates with any of what I'm saying there, I'd love to work with you.
So that sounds amazing, because I don't think there is actually a woman out there who hasn't experienced one or many of those things you've just explained. I too have had that journey where, the worry of what other people will think, that, just that incessant little voice that just keeps keeping you small. And, having already worked with you for 4 months, but also been on one of your Saturday morning walks, just shows me and helps me understand so deeply what it is that you actually offer and give to your clients. And it's something you can't really know until you step in and have the experience. Words are cheap, actions speak louder, and getting involved and then participating and committing to saying, I'm going to embark on this journey with this coach because she can help me sort these things out, is really the only way somebody can fully get it. So, I have experienced it. I see your absolute passion for what you do. It's not surface. It's not sort of like fragile in its form. It's deep and it's meaningful, and you shine bright when you're on those walks, when you're running your program and all those things. So, for anyone who is listening and hearing those little voices saying, yeah, that's me, that's me, that's me, you should perhaps think about joining Nicola for a walk, or getting involved with her 12-week program, which we're about to find out more about. So Nicola, what is this 12-week program that you have been spending months studying, shaping, and developing? Tell us a little bit more about it.
So I've called it Stress Less and Thrive. And a little tagline is how to go from warrior to warrior in 12 weeks, because I was that over worrier, oversensitive, and I now honestly step into those shoes of warrior goddess. I think I call myself a warrior woman quite happily, because I know who I am now. So that's the title. What I wanted it to do was, it thrives in the word because I have 6 Thrive principles. And these are the 6 things that I have realized that have really helped shape and change my life. So there are 6 modules within it. So it's 6 keywords, and I love an acronym, so they fit into the letters of Thrive. And they are, if it's okay to tell you what they are, right?
Please, yes, let's hear more about it.
The first one is acceptance. And this is my most recent discovery. And it's one of the hardest ones. So actually we deal with it at the end of the program, and we leave it till last, so I think it's module 6. So acceptance means it's accepting what is, and rather than what isn't. And what I mean by that is, when we wish something was any other way than what it is, we struggle. It's that stress. If you can change something, absolutely change something. But if you can't, you need to change your reaction and your thoughts around it. And that embodies acceptance. So it's like, that is acceptance of self, acceptance of others, acceptance of situations as well. So it's quite a big, deep thing. And my partner was away for over 6 months last year, and my dad had a stroke, my cat disappeared. There was a whole load of things. And I was so upset, and I really got into that acceptance of what was happening. And it really genuinely opened up my mind and thought, wow, this was phenomenal. The next module I work on is breath work. This has been amazing for me. I work with, it's harnessing calm. So we can do lots of breath work for calm. I did a couple of master classes around breath work, and we did some sort of calming exercises. And there's things like box breathing, alternate nostril breathing. There's many, many breath work techniques out there, but also it's to ignite your inner fire, because breath work's been around for thousands of years and it's free, and it's something we can do for our own health every day. And I do the Wim Hof method. If you're aware of Wim Hof, in fact, he's on telly right now, so lots of people are very aware of him, and people have been getting in touch with me about the ice baths, which has been interesting. So with the breath work, we work on his breath work as well, and we will touch on some cold water therapy as well within that module. Stress is the next one. And there's loads of things we can do with stress, but what I tend to focus on is about sort of quietening the noise. We're overstimulated and very busy and overwhelmed, and it's about trying to tune into what things can we start to tune out from and maybe somehow manage a little bit better. Mindset's the next one, and it's big as well. And I've been going live on Instagram, and I talked about that this morning actually. It's noticing your stories. What do we tell ourselves? What do we say about ourselves? How can we change that around into something else? You know, words have got such power, and what we tell ourselves about us or about others and things, it's flipping that from sort of fixed to growth mindset as well. Self-love, this was really massive for me. Once I realized I suffer anxiety and perfectionism and stress, and I didn't even know I had anxiety until my life coach pointed it out, to be fair. But once she pointed it out, it was very obvious. I look for validation outside myself, but I used to all the time. And as I said, I touched on alcohol, drugs, numbing out, all the things. And I wanted approval and validation from everybody in every source. And it's about how do we do that for ourselves? And it's not just about self-care, it's also about, but add in self-care, you know, be able to put yourself first with no guilt, because there's this big guilt attached to putting yourself first is selfish, when in fact it's vital. It's like the old adage from the airplane, you know, put your own gas mask on first before you put on someone else's. And the last one is sleep. And as I said earlier, that's been big for me. I have a really quite tight sleep routine. I've got great strong boundaries around it, and I pretty much have tech switched off by sort of 7:30, 8 p.m. and I'm in bed by 8, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock at the very latest. I'm an early bird. I get up in the mornings. And sleep, it's about consistency with sleep. There's a lot of things we can do to help with our sleep. And it's about being able to waking up motivated and excited and ready for the day, and not that, oh, I'm going to snooze the alarm. You know, it's going to be, you won't even need an alarm when we do the sleep work, because you'll be allowing yourself the right amount of quality sleep as well. So those are the 6 principles within it. And I know they all work, because this is what's all worked for me. They're tried and tested.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because on the surface of it, the sort of modules that you mentioned seem like everyday things to all of us. You know, sleep. Yeah, I sleep. You know, my mindset. Yeah, your mindset. But I think what is so important for the listeners to understand here is that there are different levels of mindset and sleep, right? And what you're going to help them do is transform and improve whatever they're experiencing now, and take it to a higher level, or a more informed level. And isn't it important that what they're going to get more than anything else is a new level of understanding? Because I find that's really a powerful part when I do my workshops, is that allowing that person to understand the bigger picture, where they are now and where they want to go to. Is this part of what they will experience when they're working with you, Nicola?
Yeah, so I find in my one-to-one work in the past, it's been really helpful for people when you give them examples from your own life, or they can come to you with examples and say, well, is this what you're talking about? You know, because I'm there every week live with them on Zoom, so that they can actually ask me questions, and I'm there as accountability. And that's the important part, because it's finding the sweet spot for everybody, because it's not one size fits all. So I will deliver the basic principles of what we're doing, but then they can come to me with, well, I don't know if I want to do this part, but how about this part, you know? And it's very about molding it to the individual, because I mean, people might look at my lifestyle and think, I'm not getting up at 5 a.m. and going up a mountain every morning. It's like, I'm not asking people to do that. You know, I'm not saying live my life because this is how you'll feel good. This is just about, how will you feel good? What will make you feel better? Within all these modules, there's going to be something, even a little nugget of something to change within all the modules will be enough to give them that momentum, and that momentum will never end. You know, they'll take it with them after the 12 weeks. They're going to keep working on that. They're going to keep looking at that stuff, you know, and it's a journey, you know. And I used to think, I remember it when I studied psychology, I saw Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and I saw the self-actualization at the top of the triangle, and I thought, that's where I want to go. That's where I want to be. And I thought it was a journey that you got to and then you were fixed and you were fine. Now I realize it's fluid. It's ongoing, you know. You get to different levels and you feel better, and then sometimes you have a little tumble, sometimes you get back up again. But we're always learning, we're always growing, and it's that as I say, it's not one size fits all. It's that sweet spot for everybody.
Yeah, wherever they are now, taking part in this program is going to take them to a new level, a new experience, and a new way of seeing their world. And for me, the magic piece is that they don't actually know how their life is going to change for the better until they've been through the process. And that's the exciting part about any coaching journey. You know, it's there is a starting point, but there's a destination, and the magic that happens along the way, the realizations, the new awakenings that are experienced are what is the powerful piece. And that's not something you can write in a script to someone. You can't say that's what's going to happen, because it's all discovery, but it's growth. And that's what is really, for me, so exciting to have been part of understanding how you've developed this program, and just seeing the massive, I would say, golden nuggets there are in each one of these modules. But what I really love is that you're not shoving 12 modules at your audience, because that seems a lot. You've just got 6, but it's a 12-week course. So what's happening in the other 6 weeks?
Okay, so it's a Q&A the second week, because I want people to have 2 weeks to be able to cement in, really embed the changes, you know, and practice them, because it's with daily, small, consistent action that we manage to make the changes. It's not about, I'm going to give them things like, you go do this and do it for a week and then we'll be fine. It's like, let's really slowly implement this, because there's going to be struggles and challenges along the way. There'll be some resistance for people around having to make some changes. And as I say, it's small, achievable changes, which will look different for everybody. So that's this every second week is a Q&A week. They can just show up to the live and ask me anything. You know, I will help guide them through what they're struggling with. And the fact we're doing it in a group is more powerful, because you can hear everyone else's stuff as well, and what they're struggling with, what their wins are, what their struggles are, what they're going through. Whatever questions someone asks helps everyone else know what they asked, you know. So that's how the structure is going to be. So it's not full-on learning every single week. It's like, we'll get a week of the module, and we'll have 2 weeks to really work on it. They can use me through WhatsApp and message for accountability as well. And I will actually be setting up a private Facebook group just for the people to come into as well. So there's a really powerful group element within this program, and group stuff is so powerful. It's so powerful. I've been part of a few groups now, and I used to shy away from groups because of my embarrassment and shyness and all those things. But now I go to group things and I just find them amazingly transformational, because you get the other people's connection and stuff as well.
Yeah, it's a community, and you immediately feel as though you're not on your own. You're not the only person on the planet going through this challenge right now. There are other people having different experiences, but similar challenges in their mind. And by the end of it, you're all watching everybody transform and grow and have their breakthroughs. And so I think that is a fantastic model, because it's not too overwhelming, and there's plenty of time to sort of really absorb it in. So good for you for actually putting that in. Very good idea. So I'm really excited. When are you actually starting with your first, your next program, isn't it?
Yeah, so this first program will start on the 10th of May, which is 10 days tomorrow. I was just working it out. And then I run another one in June. So there will be more chances to come on to this one. This one, though, is a special introductory offer, because it's the first time running it through. So there will be a better pricing structure this time, just a bit of a special offer incentive just to get onto this one.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And tell me something, how would people be able to reach out to you to find out more about the program and what the actual structure is? You know, just because, you know, people want to read and whatever. Is there something out there that they can, or can they just contact you directly?
I mean, absolutely contact me directly. I'm on all social media channels, apart from Twitter. I don't get Twitter. I've never used it. I have used it in the past, but I never used it, if you know what I mean. But yes, I actually have a document if they want to see it, and it tells you the structure, the times, the dates, the pricing structure and things as well, what bonuses are on offer as well, because there's some really good bonuses within that as well. So they can reach out to me and ask to see that. Also jump on a call with me, have a discovery session, because it's interesting to maybe get to know what your pain points would be, and we can see how my course would meet your needs, because maybe it won't be for everybody, you know, and it's nice to be able to chat to me, because I won't just get someone on the call just because they're willing to come on. I would like to be able to say, no, I don't know if this is for you right now, or it is for you right now. It's really important to have that connection in that chat. So I do recommend having the session, the discovery session, and I have links everywhere on all my social channels around that. But yeah, so I mean, I'm as I say, I'm all over sort of social media, and I've got a website and things as well that people can reach out to me on as well.
And you're doing lives on Instagram at the moment. So what is your Instagram tag?
I am at Wild Wellness Coaching.
Great.
I'm going live at 7 o'clock every morning just now, just to introduce module by module. I'm just touching on small points of what we cover in the modules. So yeah, if you can come along to that, definitely do.
That's fantastic. And I've got some notes here, by the way, if anyone's just wondering why I keep looking down. I've been making so many notes. Got to go check out Netflix. Is it Netflix with Wim Hof for that ice
I think
experience?
it's on BBC actually. I'm sure
Is
some.
it?
I don't watch TV, so I don't
Oh,
have access to be able to watch it. But it's on. I'm sure it's on BBC at like 9 o'clock
I
at night
think
or something like
actually
that.
it might be right, but I'll make sure that I get it right.
Yeah.
So what is the next walk that you're doing? Will it be this Saturday morning?
Yes, it is. It's every Saturday morning. The main destination is always Benihee. But the destinations can vary from time to time, but they happen every Saturday. Last week we did a sunrise one starting at 5 a.m., but they normally start around 7 a.m., which I know is still early for a lot of people, but it's a nice time to get the hill to yourself, to get a little bit of space, because we do some mindfulness, we do some mindful walking, we do some meditation outside as well, and we do some cold water immersion with our feet if people are interested. There's no requirement of that, it's just an added, if someone wants to do it, they can do. And everyone so far has done it every time we've been, which has been great, and they've got the value out of it. And it's really about engaging your senses and connecting with nature. And I've always got links every week on my Instagram of where they are. It's an Eventbrite link, so again, people can reach out and ask me. I have an email weekly letter that goes out, which is a really good way to keep up with everything I'm doing, and I also send out all the walk details in that every week as well, so that's a really good way to get in touch with me as well.
That's fantastic. So in the description of this interview today, people will be able to have all the links that they need, that they can just go look at and click on, so that it's easy access to find Nicola and find out more about her business, what she's doing next, and how she can possibly help you find your wild woman warrior within and bring her out. Because life,
She's in there. She's wanting to come out.
she's perhaps the reason why you've got all that kind of trapped feeling and anxiety, because she's trying to wake you up to say there is something amazing inside and she wants to come out. And Nicola from Wild Wellness is the woman who's going to be able to help you navigate that initial journey, that journey to just start this experience in your life. And I remember going on that walk with you a couple of weeks ago on the Saturday morning. It was a glorious day. We were very fortunate, no high winds or anything like that. But one of the things that really stuck in my mind was, one, the meditation where we all sat around. It was really more a breathing exercise, which I found so helpful. And actually, I've used it a number of times now at different stages of my day. But the best and most kind of physically memorable piece was that putting my feet in that ice cold water. Oh my goodness, what an unbelievable experience. It's really difficult to put into words. The experience that my toes, foot and ankle and then calves felt like instantaneously. But I tell you what, if I was sleepy before that, it was definitely the thing that totally woke me up and actually warmed me up afterwards as well. So, if you've never ever experienced all these different little things, that Saturday morning is quite a nice little taster as well, I think. And you know, Nicola, your energy and passion just, as I said earlier, just radiates out. So, you know, that woman who is looking for that little thing that is going to be that decision to change so many things for the positive in her life, I really recommend she sort of has a chat with you, because I know, having got to know you, it's been really life-changing in so many ways. I mean, I know that I'm your coach and that's business, you know, but it's the person you are and the relationship we've developed over that time that has really allowed me to understand why you are the best person for this program, for any wild warrior, you see, wild warrior out there who is looking to move from worry to warrior. So,
Yes, I get it wrong sometimes when I'm telling people it's called, and I'll say warrior to warrior. No, warrior to warrior. There's such a little difference in the word. They're so close together.
well, I think that's what actually makes it even more powerful, that, you know, which one are you currently living, the warrior or the warrior? See, there, I got it. I've been practicing for a week in prep for today to sort of eventually get this out of my mouth the right way. But, you know, for me in Mindblox, it's just a pleasure to work with people like you, coaches like you, who are passionate, who know who they want to help, and who just need support along the way to really navigate that business building piece. Because, you know, you are a coach, but the other hat is businesswoman. And, you know, as you were saying earlier, those challenges, all you want to do is get out there with your clients and deliver your magic. But to be able to do that, you need to have all the other things in place. And that's where it's such a challenge. I've been there myself, so I really get it. So it's just a pleasure having watched you just absolutely navigate. And our WhatsApp chats have been so interesting and unexpected at certain times of the day or the night. Tess, or whatever, or thanks, Tess, or whatever. And, you know, I imagine you have exactly something similar with your clients as well. And, you know, it's just building relationships and helping people live the life that they absolutely want to. But there's one little piece I don't think we mentioned, and that is that part of, how did we meet?
Yeah, okay. So I love telling this story actually, because I had been to a fire walk. For anybody who hasn't done one, go do one. It
Absolutely.
is phenomenal. Have you done one, Tess?
Yes, I've done two.
Okay. The
Yeah,
energy is just
love it.
like, it's amazing energy.
Yeah.
And we did an arrow break as well, which is putting an arrow to your throat. It's a trust exercise. It's about raising the vibration. And we have to do it with there you go. I left mine in the kitchen. And I keep mine so I see it often, because it's really good to remind me what was
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
And my intention when I walked the fire was to find my voice. And I went to a networking event through Business Gateway and Tess was the coach talking at the event. And I've known of Tess for a long, long time and followed her on social media, but never actually spoken. And when Tess's tagline came up saying, "I will help you find your voice," I got goosebumps from head to toe and was like, I need to speak to this woman. So we chatted at the end and I came over and said, "Tess, you know, my intention was to find my voice. And you've just said, you help me find my voice. Help me find my voice." And you have.
Well, that's amazing, because, you know, that was the one part in my life that was that it kind of evaporated my voice from a very young age. And that's a story for another day. But, you know, to feel as though you have this purpose inside, or this mission in your life that you desperately want to share with the world, and it's trapped inside and you can't quite navigate your way to the place where you actually get to do what you do, was my journey. And I thought, well, if that's my journey, it must be linked to my purpose. And helping women like you find their voice is the best place for me to live. So I have, up to now, absolutely loved working with you. And I cannot imagine what else is going to come as we navigate forward. But I think for the woman who is looking for her warrior, you should really get in touch with Nicola. The interesting thing with Nicola and I as well is that we both can talk very fast, because there's just so much passion. And if you've really listened today, you know, you'll hear that passion is just ebbing and flowing out of Nicola every step of the way. But when you go on the walk with her, it's when she's in her zone, when she's in the forest, or when she's talking about her program, remind us what it is again, Nicola?
Restless and thrive, going
Yes.
from warrior to warrior.
Yeah, there is just this transformation that takes place, and Nicola just, like, I don't know, she just radiates everywhere, and you just feel her energy just sort of soaking into you, and you come out refreshed, energized, and really peaceful because you've connected with yourself. So I urge you, reach out, get to know this amazing lady, this amazing coach, and see if her program is exactly what you need right now to start and embark on a journey that will make life so sharp, fresh, and crisp. So, Nicola, it has been so amazing speaking to you in this call today. And I really wish you all the greatest success with your business. I can just tell you, as a coach to a coach, that you've got everything you need, because you are amazing. And thank you for telling us so much about you, your journey, and your brand new course.
Thank you. It's been such an honor, honestly. I really enjoy working with you, and thank you for setting this up today as well. I'm so honored.
It's a pleasure. So guys, if you need to get a hold of Nicola, and I'm sure you want to even just have a quick chat with her, then all the information is in the bottom of this video. And I look forward to seeing what comes from the magic of what Nicola has created. So have a great next few days, weekend, or whatever stage you are listening to this. Maybe it's a nice evening or a great morning. And we'll be back at some point with Mindblox to share another wonderful interview with another incredibly inspirational and amazing business owner. Bye for now. And Nicola, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Yeah.